Welcome back. You know, we're switching gears dramatically, but this next segment also has a profound impact on a lot of people. I'm joined by Lisanne Finston, who is the Executive Director of Elijah's Promise, which is in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Joanna. It's great to be here.
You know, it's great to have you because you're doing some really powerful work down in the New Brunswick area. Tell us about Elijah's Promise and what it's doing for the community.
Sure. Elijah's Promise has been around now about almost 25 years, and our work and our mission is really using food as a tool to feed people and to equip people with the skills to be able to feed themselves.
This started much different than what it's become today. Give us the history and the evolution.
Sure. You know, back in the 1980s, a lot of people experienced the effects of the economy, much as we have done these last few years. And a lot of people found themselves unable to put food on the table after they paid the rent and paid the bills. They were really struggling, and soup kitchens and homeless shelters kind of came on the scene with a force. And Elijah's Promise was really no different than many other organizations and places around the country. And we were created in the late 80s out of the outgrowth of efforts of people to feed their neighbors in New Brunswick. And we started as a soup kitchen.
What started as a soup kitchen is now a community soup kitchen. It's also a culinary arts school and a catering business?
That's right. You know, we early on had the vision and the mission to not only feed people, but to help people to get on their feet so they could take care of themselves. And so that evolution really began with feeding folks and bringing in providers from the community to help people with services. A lot of the people who dined at the kitchen also volunteered to give back as a way to say thank you, and because they loved cooking.
And do you also find that people don't always want a handout, although I think there are some who would say that that's not true. But do you find that people who are taking also want to give?
Yeah, our experience really from the very beginning is that people want a hand up and people want to be able to take care of themselves. So our model of empowerment is to not only feed people but provide them with services and job training. We started our own businesses in order to employ people and provide people with employment and a way out of poverty. And so really Elijah's Promise model is using food as a tool to create a cycle of social good.
So they're learning to cook and thus could be learning, you know, could be employed, gainfully employed because of those tools.
That's right. Over the years, we have now over 700 people who've come through the culinary training, who are working, who are productive members of our community, and now giving back. They come back and they volunteer. They're giving back in their communities all across New Jersey. And that's really what empowerment is all about.
Let's talk about hunger in New Jersey, and I want to get to nutrition as part of that, because do people really understand just how prevalent hunger is?
Well, I think that this recession, again, really the last few years brought to the forefront the issue and the problem of hunger and what we call food insecurity. In fact, now, you know, before the recession, roughly 1 in 7 people in New Jersey were in need of food assistance. And now that number is up to 15% of New Jerseyans who are food insecure. And the reality is that, you know, more and more people really need and rely on the services of food stamps and food pantries and soup kitchens for just to get by.
And unfortunately, we find that when there's a great instance of poverty, there also tends to be a great instance of disease. And how much of that is connected to nutrition and access to healthy food?
Well, we also know that with the epidemics of diabetes and obesity and hypertension, that low-income people are disproportionately affected by those health realities. And so access to good, healthy, nutritious food is even more important for our low-income neighbors. It's important for all of us. And really, food is a universal need that all of us experience.
It's interesting because you're doing something about that with Elijah's Promise, and it's the Shiloh Food Garden.
That's right. We got involved many years ago with recognizing that getting rid of opening cans and serving people highly processed foods was necessary. So we're growing food now through a community garden where folks grow their own food and help us grow food to serve in the soup kitchen. We have a number of area farms and organizations like Rutgers Cooperative Extension that grow food for us.
You've literally created a farm to table right in your soup kitchen.
That's right, absolutely. And that seed of farm to table runs throughout our entire organization, from the soup kitchen to the culinary school to our own catering business and our own restaurant in Highland Park called A Better World Cafe, which is a pay-what-you-can restaurant serving sustainably sourced food for all people.
You know, along with the poverty and the food insecurities, there are also some other issues connected to emotional problems. sometimes drug abuse, alcohol abuse. How are you connecting people with resources so that they can address not just the food issues, but the overall, issues that come with?
It's very important to do that, and we partner with both of our hospitals in New Brunswick, University of Medicine and Dentistry of New Jersey, and a whole range of other healthcare and social service providers who come in and provide health screenings, and med students who actually have a student-run health clinic that provides health services for people from the soup kitchen. We help people access mental health treatment and substance abuse treatment and whatever kinds of needs they bring, because really, if we're going to solve the problem of hunger, it requires all of us working together.
And I know that for you, this is something that's really become a life's mission. You said that you can't sit by and watch the cycle of poverty and the revolving door of people coming in and out. How has this impacted you and changed your life?
Well, I actually got involved with hunger work back when I was in high school and college and living in Washington, D.C. and seeing the pervasiveness of homelessness and hunger all around. And over the years of being involved and engaged in this work, the people that I work with and have the benefit of helping now are people who I call friends. And to see people's lives changed, to see people, move on to places where they're productive and giving back and raising children of their own, there's really no feeling like helping other people and seeing people's lives change.
How can others get involved? People
can get involved in a number of ways. We always need volunteer help in the soup kitchen and helping in the gardens and sourcing food from the area farms and gleaning. There's also ways to get involved in your own communities, working in a local food pantry or a local food organization. You can visit our website to get more information about how to help.
Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing a little bit so that we can go out and make a difference in our community. I urge you, please go out and get involved in your community food bank, wherever you can. Lisanne Finston, Executive Director of Elijah's Promise, thank you so much.
Thank you, Joanna.
Pleasure.
Life and Living has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating 25 years of broadcast excellence, and NJTV. Funding for this edition of Life and Living with Joanna Gagis has been provided by Wells Fargo, PSE&G, committed to improving New Jersey's economy and strengthening its communities. County College of Morris, connecting learning and life. New Jersey Manufacturers Insurance Group, auto insurance, homeowners insurance, and banking under the principle of stewardship. Cohn Resnick, providing accounting, tax, and advisory services for more than 90 years. The law firm of Gibbons, P.C. N.J. Best, New Jersey's 529 College Savings Plan. Turn a dream into a degree. And by Verizon Communications. Additional support provided by Melandre Salon and Sulis Spa. Look beautiful, feel beautiful. Promotional support provided by The Record, North Jersey's trusted source, and NorthJersey.com. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Life and Living with Joanna Gagis has been produced in partnership with St. Joseph's Healthcare System.